Hello everyone, welcome to Fix My Code. Before we dive into today's content, I want to mention that all the source code discussed in this video is available on GitHub here. You can find the link in the description below. In this video, we will discuss the project, its features, technologies used, and the motivation behind its creation. So let's get started. Firstly, let's talk about what Fix My Code is all about. So it's a web application designed to assist developer in improving their code. Whether you need help fixing bugs, optimizing your code, adding comments, or making some other improvements. Fix My Code leverages the power of OpenAI's Codex API to generate suggestions and corrections based on your input. So let's talk about what inspired me to create Fix My Code. As a developer, I have often found myself stuck on a piece of code, and sometimes a fresh perspective or quick suggestions can make a huge difference. So Fix My Code was born out of the desire to provide a tool that can assist developer, especially those who are just starting and enhancing their coding skills. Now let's dive into the technologies that power Fix My Code. So for the front end, I have used React, which provides a smooth and interactive user interface. On the back end, Firebase handles the authentication and Node.js manages the server-side operations. The project data and code history are stored in Firestore database. Overall, these technologies work together seamlessly to provide a robust user experience. Now let's jump into a real-time demonstration. So this website is deployed and you can find it here at fixmycode.netlify.app. This is the login page where you can choose any of the options to sign up, either using Google or email. For now, I will be using Google Sign In. And it won't be visible to you because the screen recorder captures only one tab at a time. After successfully signing in, you will see this dashboard where you can see the history tab here, the main code editor at the center. In this case, I have used Monaco code editor for syntax highlighting. Below that, these are few functional buttons used to make changes in the code. And below that, this is an input text field for custom commands. So for now, I have a code snippet that checks whether the string is palindrome or not. Now let's run and test the code. Yes, it gives the correct output for the string madam, which is palindrome. Now let's make some changes in the code. Instead of not equals to, I will change it to equals to and check if the code throws an error. So yes, it throws an error. Now let's try to fix this error using Fix My Code and check whether it can identify the error. So I'll click on Fix Bug. And yes, it has generated the new code and also added the comments where changes were made. Now let's copy this code and try to run and check if it gives the correct output as before. Now I will copy and paste it here. I will just remove these comments and click on run. And yes, it gives the correct output as before. Now let's try optimizing this code. Currently it has 18 lines of code. Let's optimize this. Yes, it has optimized the code, reducing the total lines of code from 18 to 10. And this code will work exactly the same as code that was of 18 lines. Now let's try to add comments to the given code. And yes, it has analyzed the code and added comments accordingly to the each step. Now suppose I mess up with the indentation of the code and I want to fix the indentation. Now let's click on fix indentation and check whether it can do it. And yes, the indentation is fixed. Now I have another code snippet to check if the person is eligible for voting or not. In this case, I have a variable a in which I am storing the age of the person and I want to change the names of the variables to meaningful ones. Now let's fix that. I will click on change variable names. And yes, now it has renamed the variable a to age for better understanding. Now let's try to use a custom command and I want to change my code to Python. Let's try this and see if it can give correct Python code. You can give any command here. And yes, it has successfully converted our code to Python. Now let's log out from the website. There is one more option, continue without signing in. It says sign in to save your code history and you are logged in as temp user. Using this option, your code history is not saved and you can easily use this app to maintain confidentiality for the code if the code is owned by a specific individual or organization. So yes, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave them in the comments below.